Hello and welcome back. It's only been a week since our last cast here, but we have had so much go on. I figured we'd pop back in. My name is Stacy. I am with Flionfree Fibers and coming to you from my farm in Northeast Connecticut, Easy Acres Gnomestead, where we raise critically endangered Gulf Coast native sheep and Angora rabbits. Oh, what has gone on in the last week? It's sunny today, still chilly. It is December, but typical New England weather. The last 2 weeks we've had rainstorms, and this weekend just packed it on. From 4 to 5 inches we got last weekend to this weekend getting another 5+ inches with insane crazy winds. We lost power Monday morning about 5:30, 6 o'clock, and didn't get it back till Tuesday afternoon. Finally got internet back Wednesday. Then it went out again last night, but came back on in the middle of the night. So we're back up and running now, but there's still roads closed and flooding and everything all over the place. It took out so many trees. There are just trees down everywhere still. It was quite a storm. If it was snow, we would have had several feet. So I'm not sure which. I mean, people say, which would you want more? I don't know. One we're plowing out of, and the other we're dealing with so much water on the farm and mud. I mean, now thankfully it's gotten colder, so everything's frozen again. But the amount of water and mud, you just have to lock everyone up and keep them dry and keep them in a small space until, weather clears. So it's been a ride. Everyone's happy now, though. Let's see, what did we have besides the power outage and the extensive amount of rain? Finished up our farmers markets for 2023. I was able to do paperwork while the power was out, so had a pretty good year, all things considering, and being our first year in farmers markets, I actually did really well. My stuff for the livestock conservancy came in, so and stickers for our sheep. So if you order any of the products from our sheep, I think it's a 4-ounce minimum to get your passport sticker. You can look that up at the Livestock Conservancy. Our stickers are on the way, so we'll have those to send out with any orders, and I will put that on our site as soon as we have the stickers so that we can send those out with orders. Oh gosh, so many things this week. Oh, I also signed up for another test knit with Rogue Ambitions. So she had a cowl that came out a while ago that I actually liked, but I was way too busy to do any test knits at that time. But she has turned the design into a hat, and it is the Hearthside hat. So that test knit is going to go on starting now, and we have till next month. So that is the Hearthside hat. So I'm going to be going test knitting that. Let's see. It is, I'll read up some of this stuff. So it's a 3-color pattern. You can use scraps or anything to that. I thought it had the weight in the summary real quick, but yeah, I read it in the pattern. So I'll let you know more about it as I get into it. I haven't started yet. I'm just finishing up Christmas knits. But I did read a little bit about it when it came in. So just gotta have our yarn ordered by this weekend and then move from there. So not sure what colors am I doing in. I do like the natural colors, so maybe we'll go that way. But I have a lot of colors to choose from. So that's going to be coming up. That will be a whip coming up. And I think that's it for big projects. I did spend some time with my floor loom and one of my rugs that I had made in the past from my sheep doing some measurements, figuring out what I want to do. I'm going to get that warped up to do several rugs from some of the fiber I have downstairs. So look for those. Those will be a bigger project because I'm going to warp on several so that I don't have to just keep doing individual warps. So I'm just kind of doing the math on it right now. I was taking measurements, kind of seeing what size I liked, kind of for a general just smaller throw rug. I have one on the side of my bed, as I mentioned previously, so I really like the size of that. So I was doing and when you weave, just like with a lot of things, you the size it is on the loom versus the size it is when it comes off the loom, because it was under tension, it was stretched out so you could weave, and then the size it is after washing are all different sizes. So thankfully I didn't document it as well written down, but I did have pictures, so I was able to measure from those. And then, oh, excuse me, oh, my nose. It's a little chilly, the changing weather. So I'm kind of excited about that. I get some rugs out. I spoke with the tannery, and we're going to be bringing our hides up to them, and very shortly, they said there's like a 9-month turnaround, so hopefully we'll have those by next fall. And what am I wearing? So this was actually the first sweater I ever made. It is a neck down pullover from, let's see, Knitting Pure and Simple. It's a neck down pure pullover for women. I had no idea what I was doing. I actually had a friend like guide me through it. She's like, here, do this. Come see me when you get to the next spot. Do this, come see me when you get to the... So I had no idea how to read a pattern or anything. I was just going. Even if you can see, there's twisted stitches in here, all sorts of beginner stuff going on. But it's really comfy. I actually had made it extra small, knew nothing about ease or anything. It fits just fine, but it is a fitted sweater. I did embellish, so by the end, you know, it's all so much stockinette, the whole thing. And it does have, so this little bit of roll, the bottom is rolled and the cuffs were rolled, which I don't prefer. I tend to play with them too much. I'm just always pulling at them. So I ribbed mine, and then I actually embellished. So this was the beginning of my journey of embellishing. I added some alpaca. I marled it in. Didn't even know that was a thing. Didn't know what marling was. I just figured I would add it in. So I marled it into, like, I think it was the last 5 rows. So it was 10 rows. I marled it into the last 5 because I knew I was putting it in the neck. I have a very sensitive neck. And even though, oh gosh, I think this was Cascade. It's in my Ravelry, but I believe this was Cascade, the big skeins of it. It was like 450 yard skeins. And when I knew I was going to put it in the neck, it's super soft, but it's still like, you know, it's fine on my skin, but on my neck, it's, even now, it's a little sensitive. But so I actually doubled up the marling on here, and I also did the rib neck. I left a couple rows, just a little stitch interest or what have you there, pattern interest, to let it curl a little bit, but I didn't want it curling down. So I like collars. So that was my first one. It's an oldie but a goodie. It's not that old, really. Honestly, I've never blocked it. It does need to be blocked. The sleeves need like a little length. They're perfect in size. I left them straight because I don't like tight sleeves. Even this, I wouldn't probably wear a long sleeve underneath it. There's very few sweatshirts I like to wear a long sleeve underneath, so I'll wear tank tops. But I did leave it long enough so it's loose, but it needs a little bit of length. So something I learned in making this was the sleeves were fine. So you make the body, then you pick up and do the sleeves, and then you add the neck. Well, the sleeves were fine. They were where I want them. I typically like my sleeves like down here. Overly long, I don't mind folding them up if I need to. I like the coziness of longer, but when you do the neck, it kind of sucks things up. Didn't know that. That's part of learning. So now I always kind of extend them a bit longer, and I'll be happy with them longer than short. But like I said, it has them in blocks, so I can easily pull these to where I need to. It's wool. I can set this how I want. I'm not gonna, can't fix that, but that's okay. It's a great story. My twisted stitches. Everything else is pretty much, I really like the fit of this sweater, especially for a fitted sweater. So, but now that I know about ease too, I could add some of that. It's a really easy pattern. So if you haven't done a sweater and you're looking to get into one, it is a really great one to learn on. And because like I said, most of it is stockinette. You're not, I mean, you pick up for the sleeves, but it's not, it's really quite simple if you've been knitting for a little bit. So, you know, don't fear the sweaters. I'm definitely going to do this one again. I'll probably do it with, I don't know. I've had so many ideas of colors and variegated yarns to just add to it. So it's a very, you can make it what you want. So it's a nice simple sweater that you could embellish on. So, oh, let's see. I think I made the extra small even. So didn't know. That's what my chest measured. That's what I did. I did bring, so I have some of the FOs I talked about last week. And so I think I was weaving some towels, or I needed to, and I had the booties that I didn't have with me, but I did share the link, and which one pair I sold. So I won't show the one that I think the picture is of, but I have another pair. And then a friend of mine asked me to knit some earwarmers yesterday for Christmas gifts so she can give away. So I knit one. Ooh, I got something cool. So towels I weave. So these are towels. They look wrinkly. They're a plain weave. I like to use, I believe it's an 8.2 cotton, and it's, man, it's 8.4, I think. They're really, really absorbent. It's a plain weave. People just like plain weave over patterns. I've done waffle and everything else before, and people really like the plain weave. So I kind of find just some variegated yarns and stuff that will add some interest to it. I don't keep towels around long. They go pretty quick. They're just basic hand towels, like 25 inches, dish towels. So they're super absorbent. They don't stay, so I'm constantly making them. And then here are the booties. So they're little, you can make these longer, however long you want. So this is, I don't know, this is the women's size. I think it was 7, 8, or 8 to 9. So I had a lighter pair, and then I made this. The lady actually wanted this pair, but it wasn't her size. She had little tiny feet. So these are super cute. You can hold double, like I said previously. So they're thick, they're cozy, perfect for running around the house, little cabin slippers, keep you warm, and they are really quick to do. You kind of knit it all flat, and then you seam down the back and down, all the way down. So that's how it sews up. It's pretty simple, so it is a quick knit. You have several days left, so keep it going. Oh, and then the ear warmers. So my friend wanted green and purple. Like me, I don't have to go get green and purple. My whole stash is green and purple. So I went through, I haven't blocked this out yet or wet finished it. So there are some little nubs because I don't cut those off till the end, but I picked out some of the green and purple. So I usually buy green and purple in a pair. I will buy it from someone and I will match them up. So I actually wrap them together, and that's how they're stored in my cubbies. So these yarns, because she's a friend, she got my personal stash, are from Good Karma Yarn up in Maine. And it's really pretty. Let me grab the tags. I threw the tags in here. carelessly threw the tags in the bag. And they are. So the purple is Violent. I can't even say that. Beauregard. I am awful with words I don't know. So Good Karma yarn, and they are up in Maine. It is 60% wool, 40% alpaca, and 210 yards. So, and then the green is Undertow. So I bought these together, not this year, I believe it was I know it wasn't this year, last year at, I think it was at Rhinebeck last year, so 2022. So I bought these together to go together, didn't have a project in mind, but they are so pretty, the rich colors. So I did just a basic, I would say a basic ear warmer, but it's a brioche knit and pearl. However, so I was like, I told her, I'm like, it's going to be reversible and everything, which it's still reversible. When I was yarning over, if you're familiar with brioche, you yarn over. So you do a stitch, you slip a stitch, yarn over, knit or purl stitch, slip a stitch, yarn over. I yarned over the opposite way on my stitches, on my knit stitches. So it didn't come out reversible in the same pattern, I should say, on the back, but it's still a pretty pattern, still could be worn in reverse. It's really pretty. So she can wear it either way she likes. So just because something's not exactly doesn't mean it's not wearable. German twisted rib cast on, Jenny super stretchy bind off, so it fits. It's actually quite comfy. It's about 4 inches. So I like my ears covered. I don't like the little things that don't cover your ears completely. So good 4-inch. That will fit. And I'm already on. So she wanted 2 in green and purple. And I was, or 1 green, 1 purple. And I was like, why don't I just make them both green and purple? This one I have started. It is actually a brioche, just complete knit stitch. So I'm just knit stitching the whole, both colors across. And then I'm going to do another one that's the knit pearl, the brioche rib, and wrap it the right way so it is reversible. And then I'll just let her pick which one she wants. So this one has a little bit of a different pattern on the back because it's just knit. So they're a little bit different. They're almost like little flowers. Pretty cute. They're very quick, very, very quick. So if you need another Christmas gift and you're like, I don't have time for a hat or whatever, grab some chunky yarn and make some ear warmers. They're really quick, and I still have, so I did one, I'm on the second one. I still have a lot of yarn left, so I don't even know how much is going to get out of this. Like I said, I did 72 stitches because brioche, I think it needs to divide by 2 and 3. So whatever is a divisible of 2 and 3 is the amount of stitches you can do. It stretches really well, like I said, so 72 was enough, at least, for my head, and it's pretty stretchy. So that works. That's a quick knit. The slippers are a quick knit. Holidays almost here. I sent out packages this week, finally got to the post offices and sent the ornament I had for my parents, and I sent my daughter a whole care package of yarn and one of the shawls I made. So those are on their way, and they're going to get there by the 23rd. So even sending them out yesterday, they said there's enough time. We'll see. Oh gosh, what else? Like I said, it's been a busy week. What I have the next ear warmer and another one after that in progress. I did some spinning in the dark and some knitting in the dark. So I knit on, so it was dark, but I mean, you had the sunlight. It was daytime. I mean, it was rainy and whatever, but I could still see. And I did have my little neck lights charged, so I was able to use those. So I got further on my Purple Thunder Mosselberg. So we'll say about one hat is done. Just about one of the hats, so I gotta finish the tube to the other end, is complete. So I just gotta pick that up when I need, no think knitting. And then I actually did some spinning. So I went up and grabbed, I've been kind of itching to spin. And I had to empty this. This is a support spindle. So this one is actually really fast. It's tiny and really fast. But the point of this one being tiny and really fast is I use it for, I had to unload it first. So that's kind of hard to see, but that's how thin it is. This is Angora rabbit fiber that I have spun up. And I actually did some experimenting. I have spun from the fluff before, which is just basically like not off the rabbit while they're in your lap, but just as you pull off the rabbit. And I've done comb top. And this week I brushed up some Rollags and spun from that, and I really enjoy that, especially on the drop spindles. So this is fiber I purchased, and this is from my first Angora rabbit Meatloaf, who my son named him Meatloaf, who passed away. So this will be a special project for me. It's so soft. But this I was doing from the Rollag. I'm gonna drop some of that off. They're shorter fibers, so the Rollag really does help, especially with the drop spindle. And that's where the support spindle helps too, because you're not having all that tension to pull on it. So I do it on both. It is possible. Like I said, I haven't set them on my lap yet and done it from my wheel. To be continued on that one. But that's him. He was a kind of more of a white and silver, where this is a tort. It's a white and brown. That is what my female is now, but she's got great ringlets. Super soft, and she's got like a chestnut to silver to white. It's really pretty. And then my boy is a roux, so he is all white. So happy with those, trying to finish those up. Not finish them up, but get further. I want to do a few different projects with those. So especially with my rabbits fiber. And I'm not sure what yet, if it's going to be a hat or it depends on how much I get out of it. And if I'm going to ply it with itself, run it as a single with some wool. Am I going to do commercial wool or I don't even know yet. So to be continued on that. But if you spin, sometimes we just do. There actually can see there's several singles up there on that Lazy Kate. Those are all singles. Two of them are leftovers from something I plied, and I might actually ply those together. And then another one is a single of alpaca. What else is up there? And there's some Hog Island that's finished up there. I've got several that have Hog Island on them that I'm still working on finishing. I had 4-ounce bat that I was doing the entire 4 ounces on the spindle. So I think there's 3 spindles full right now, and I still have quite a bit left. So work in progress there. Oh, let's see. Oh, you know what? I didn't even tell. So I kind of briefly went over what I got at Rhinebeck in New England, but I forgot a few things because when I started spinning, I remembered. And I'm not sure I brought it up, but so this is the Hog Island. I did get, it's hard to see, I'm not sure I shared this, a distaff from Dan Tracy Designs. So if you do drop spindle, so I hike and drop spindle and whatever, I have tried to wrap it around my arm. I have had it in a bag behind my back. I have done like several different things, and it always gets wrapped up. I've hiked with this, and I just kind of put it on and hold it, and so great. I wasn't sure, and I was like, you know what? Let me just take a chance. I'm going to get a distaff and see if I like it. I really like it. It really does work. So that's Dan Tracy Designs. He actually has quite a few neat little things. He has a lap bowl for spinning that kind of goes over your legs. I personally use a wine glass because it has a flute, but and it's easy and I have it. And then so I saw this right before Rhinebeck, and I added myself to their list. So they have an exclusive list that you get on. They don't have these products all the time. So you get on the list to be notified when they have some in stock. And it's like first come, first serve, better grab it thing. So I got on the list, and then when I was at Rhinebeck, I went to their booth and I said, oh my gosh, are you going to have any of these? I don't see any. And they said, we're actually holding them. We're not going to put them out till 1 o'clock because we want more people to, be here and know and have a chance. So this was one of my splurges. It is a Moosey. This is from Bosworth Spindles, and this one, oops, I thought it said what it was. Yes. Cochin Rosewood. So it's that purpley red wood, and this is a moose antler. So this is a piece from a moose antler. He carves out, puts them in, puts the notches in. So this is a Moosey. And I was looking at them and I almost didn't get one because I really wanted one, but they didn't have, I wasn't really happy with the weights, what I was looking at. And then all of a sudden she grabbed some more and put them out. I'm like, oh, perfect. This one is 1.06 ounces. So everything I was looking at was like 0.8, 0.7 something. And I was like, no, I really want something that's like an ounce, that I want that heavier weight to it. I like it. Just about an ounce is a good size for me, because it can kind of spin both the lighter yarns and kind of do some heavier ones. So I could use it for either. I really like that. So, and being I was splurging, I wasn't going to just get something just to get it. I wanted the weight I wanted. So it was a splurge. It was almost as much as my sweater quantity of yarn. So it's not all spindles are cheap, not all are expensive. This one is a prized little possession. So she's still living there. She doesn't have, I haven't hung it up yet, and I don't have a project on it yet, but I'm sure I will soon. But I wanted to share that. I was like, oh my gosh, I completely forgot. And another thing that I found sitting over here, I'm not sure I shared them. I love stitch stoppers, and there was Fox and Pine Stitches was having a sale on several of them, so they're on Etsy, and I have all these extras that I bought because why not? So if you hop over there, they did have some for like $3. They do come from Canada, so they take a little time. You can find them at a lot of your local yarn shops, but they just go on the end of your needles, keeps anything from slipping off while you're packing and moving around, heading out to knit night, taking it on the road, stuffing it in your purse. Don't have to worry about anything dropping any stitches. So those are my extras. Not sure if I'll use them or if they'll end up being gifts. So, oh gosh, what else? We've got a lot going on. I actually have an event tonight, which I didn't know I had. It was never confirmed, and all of a sudden I got an email saying, hey, we're confirming everyone's coming. And I was like, oh, I am, okay. So I had actually put all my stuff away, unloaded my vehicle because I know I don't have anything for a few weeks, and gonna have to go load that up in a little bit here. So one more event for 2023. Maybe I can close out my Christmas stuff and a few ornaments, but we had a good weekend, so people are definitely purchasing for Christmas. So not a ton, but I can move some things and that'll be good, and have some extra holiday cash and buy some more hay. because that's what we do. We support the farm. Books. I finished a short history of the world according to sheep. I did finish that book. I had to borrow it again for like the third time because it's 21 days. And like I said, that one was much longer, and I wanted to intently listen to it. So I was picking times where I could actually listen for a bit. And when I redid it, I only had like 5 minutes left. So I'll probably listen to it again because there were sections I really liked, and I would like to kind of re-listen to those. So really good book, A History of the World According to Sheep. And I started another book. It's Women's Work, the First 20,000 Years. So it's about knitting, weaving, and how textiles was women's work. Why was it women's work? And how did that kind of fit into what the roles were in societies at that time and why? It's by Elizabeth Whalen Barber. I think that's her name. So audiobook, again, listening to while I'm knitting or while I'm doing other things, cleaning fiber or whatever I have on for that day. I am listening to it. So far, I like it. It stays on topic, doesn't get too into the weeds. So that I like. I've got a few others. So I actually go in and I'll favorite several, and then I pick from those favorites. Some of them aren't just about fiber. There's one about the Appalachian Trail and being out there. So I'm not sure when I'll listen to that one. Probably when I'm back out in the woods. But it's a little chilly, and we have a lot of trees down, so it's gonna give it some time to let the widowmakers and stuff drop while before I'm not paying attention too well in the woods. So that's all I have for this week. It was shorter, sweeter, but there was so much that I didn't want to leave it for 2 weeks or 6 months. So we'll be back maybe next week. So we'll see how things go, or we'll maybe take 2 weeks off and come back after the new year. Either way, happy holidays, Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy New Year, whatever you celebrate. Enjoy, spend time with family, spend some time with fiber, and have a great holiday.